Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm here with 30 Days of Sketches Series 14 and on to day 5 with a beautiful sketch from Crystal Barrett, who is Pineapple Papers here on YouTube. And I love this sketch. I just shared the community gallery yesterday. And what I saw over and over again was the idea of either using a cut file or like a pre-mixed media, a pre-printed page that already had a wreath in it, and working from there. There were so many different ideas. I think what I want to do, because I'm working on getting through my stash, is pulling out one of these. So I have this Rosie Studios field notes. I have a few little bits left in there. I have my Jen Hatfield Peaceful Heart, and then I also have some Amy Tan Brave and Bold. Now, I probably am not going to mix these together. However, I thought I could take them. I'm afraid I don't have quite enough of this one to make it work, but I think with this Jen Hatfield one, I do have enough, and I'm hoping this isn't going to be too loud. There we go. Sorry if it was. But I think I'm just going to layer in and build a wreath out of all of this, and then make my photos and the rest of it kind of play within the wreath. So that's kind of where I think I'm going to go with it. I definitely have enough large flowers and little bits and pieces to tuck, but I definitely think I can make this work. And the plan here is, of course, you try to get the colors to not be right next to each other, and you start with the larger pieces and then you build in with the different colors as you go. Of course, wanting, like a big, you don't want too big next to each other if you can kind of mix them up. But yeah, I think this is going to be my plan, and I'll probably draw a circle on it so that I'm working with a nice area to make sure that I'm in the right circular dimension. It doesn't get wonky. And then I'm going to come in with these little bits and pieces and tuck them in. So that is going to be my starting off point, and then I'll find my photos. And this one should be a pretty quick one because there's not going to be a lot involved unless I decide to do some mixed media in the background. So that is my game plan. I'll get you on fast forward and see what I can come up with. Start by saying I put the wreath together off camera because I was just placing things and it wasn't the easiest. And so I thought what I would share with you instead of me putting the wreath together, because you knew what I was doing, was how I'm bunching them, some of the florals and the greenery together by adding tape and kind of grouping 3 or 4 little pieces together so they become one embellishment cluster, and then I can go back and layer everything in with my photos. I still wasn't exactly sure what photos I was going to use at this time. I just got the wreath together first and then figured I would go from there. The other thing I want to mention is that I did do a little bit of mixed media off camera, just a few splatters. And I added a bit of dimension to some of them by popping a few of the flowers up with some foam dots, and it just gave it a bit of dimension to the whole layout. I'm adding a border because there is a border in Crystal's layout, and I wanted to highlight that, and of course use up a little bit more paper. And then I had these this photo of Sean and I. This is the first photo we took on our 10-year anniversary getaway. And so I thought this would kind of be the intro page for that. And this is kind of my idea of how I'm going to get this all placed. Went out with everything's taped down and you can see the splatters. And I'm just adding the tiniest bit of embellishment. It's nothing too crazy. I'm using Celebrate Us for our title. And then I found a bunch of little like together kind of lovey-dovey sayings that I'm just going to kind of tuck in. This wreath is wonky and I'm just going with it. I realized I probably should have pulled back a little bit from my photo, but in the end, I'm happy with it. It's fine. Sometimes you don't notice things until you're looking at it like playback on camera. I didn't realize quite how wonky it was until I'm actually looking at it right now. But that's the part of it that's handmade, right? Is sometimes things are just like that. I also ended up gluing all of this down, so there is not much I can do about the fact I would have to add in some additional floral or something to kind of make that even on that bottom right hand side, that you can kind of see where it feels like it's smushed up next to my photos. I was trying so hard to layer it in and make it seamless with my photos, so that is what happened there, but it's all good. I'm gonna come back live and tell you how much of a process this was for me and all the rest of it, so just hang tight. Okay, this layout is done. It took me a hot minute to get this done, you guys. I had this sitting on my desk for at least 4 days. 4 days for sure. I played around with doing the wreath first. That was perfect. So I got the kind of idea from the sketch from Crystal, and that's really all I took from the sketch. I looked at it once, saw the wreath, and went from there. And then maybe the idea of having like 2 photos. So I have 1 photo with my, you know, this little card. But other than that, I kind of just let it take me from there. But I just kept, like, I pieced them together, and that worked really well. But because these are all little individual flowers, because it's an ephemera pack, I had to kind of put them all together, which you saw in the video. And yeah, so I think that took me a little bit of time, and then I had to sit on it. And the idea of where my photo was going to be placed around anyways, it really took a bit. And then figuring out what I wanted to do to embellish. I just ended up adding little bits and pieces that kind of wrote, this is going to kind of be my title page for our anniversary getaway. So I'm going to have a little bit of journaling here, and I'm thinking I'm going to go in, I think this needs a pop of sparkle, so I might go in with some sequins as well. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope you see the influence from the sketch, but definitely took me a minute to get it done. All right, what am I going to do? I have a little bit left over from the collection. So, I don't know, a little bit going on. You know what? Actually, now that I see these, what if I finish this off by putting this down here and using one of these words? Let's see, I've got blessed, thankful. I think I'll do blessed. All right, so I did that. That worked really well. Leftovers. I've got 1 full 12 by 12, couple pieces of ephemera. Still, I didn't really touch any of the stickers. And then just kind of what's left. Floral wise, obviously I've cut that down greatly because I used most of them in the wreath. So I've got a few to play with still for another layout, but I think this is pretty usable to get one more layout, obviously about some kind of working out or bettering yourself type layout going on with that theme. And there you have it. So thank you for hanging out with me today and getting through this layout with me. I will see you guys all again soon. Bye, everyone.